Music is more than sounds and words.
It tells a story. It has its own voice.
In fact, it speaks a whole new language.
And is one of life's most beautiful forms of expression.
It is a part of our culture, our history. Today, at Sherman Indian High School, we continue to make history with music and sing our songs.
So this must have been like the starting of their music career at Sherman. I like how they have a dancer in front of the band. Because there's a Sherman School band.
I like how culturally involved they were.
But we don't really see that anymore. I mean,
we see some of it,
but not all the time. Okay, so I think it's kind of scary to see that at one point we had girls that sang, but like didn't really sing their own like traditional ways, traditional songs. That's what kind of bugs me. I mean, it's cool that they were in a choir. Not to diss anyone's like music taste or anything. This kind of triggers me because like I don't like how instead of like learning our traditional songs, we're learning like their songs, even though they try to just like, you know, make us disappear back then, and it just like gives me a scary vibe.
Make it beautiful. You gotta paint your own painting, or somebody's gonna get their brush and paint all over your freaking canvas. So you gotta pick up your brush and, you know, splat that paint, no matter what happens. Sweet grass we burn, four corners to earn, light the fires, burning brighter. I'm Desy. I'm Dani. And we play in a band called Miracle Dolls. We're Hidatsa and Kiowa, a little bit of Comanche. And we're from the 3 affiliated tribes, which is in North Dakota, Fort Berthold Reservation, and our music ties into our beliefs. What is life? What is life? We went out to Standing Rock towards in the winter time, and there's one fire, there's 7 fires burning, and there's 1 fire left. And the 1 fire, you know, was really inspirational because they're still fighting, and they could have got frostbite. There's like so much at stake. They could have lost their lives even overnight with that 0 degrees. And the government was making them sick. They're dropping some kind of chemical on them, on the camps. And you guys know the story. And we sang to them in that snow. It was so cold, it was hard to sing, you know? Just one earth, what is life, what is life? Just one tribe, what is life, what is life? But we revised the lyrics for Water is Life after we went to Standing Rock. The last fire was burning. Together we rise with love in our eyes. Talk of changes, we can change it. We got criticism for Water's Life. A lot of racist stuff. You just let it roll off your shoulder. Because if you believe in something, you stand for it and just do it. I mean, you just do what you do. You just keep focus on what you're doing, and that's it. Yeah, and if you enjoy it, then that's all that counts. That one, you don't put it anywhere. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it kind of looks like it from a distance. So it's basically just like this. So it's just pointing finger on the 7. 7, 7, 3, 3. 7, 7, 3, 3. Well, we got, how many guitars? About like 12 guitars donated to Sherman and like 3 ukuleles. And we just basically get like simple 4-chord songs and the kids can learn them in one session rather than them forgetting, you know. And we teach them rock and roll songs. You know, and they look like they really enjoy it. And we enjoy it too. It's a gift both ways.
Can you hear it? All right. I go because I like to learn beginner stuff and I'm pretty much intermediate, but you know, it's fun to get back to the basics.
Take me to church, I worship like a dog at the shine of your light. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. So they have the workshops on Fridays, Miracle Dolls, Desy and Dani, and they actually inspired me to start playing guitar. When I first came to Sherman, I went to their classes and they taught me, I think it was Nirvana. Yeah, Nirvana. And I just thought, wow, this is really cool. And I started getting good at it. And then I started going on my own and, you know, just self-teaching myself how to play.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah, oh yeah, you remember?
Oh my god. I never came
Look
here.
at it, you remembered.
I never came here.
You just learned it?
Yeah, I learned how to play that song like a long time ago.
Oh, cool.
Everyone who doesn't know that song.
Oh yeah, everyone knows that song.
So let's say with the slide,
yeah.
The Miracle Dolls, they're really good at playing their instruments and they're really good at singing. They are really inspiring because they write their own music, and what they write about is like more about indigenous things, which is really good because most people don't write about indigenous stuff.
Whenever I have this hand drum in my hand, it gives me this mindset of being thankful because like, I mean, without growing up and seeing other native singers or any other family members or like any other native celebrities, I don't think I like would have found my talent, like would have known that I could sing and have this power to have the same ability as them.
Do you know I love you so, and mommy will never let you go. To the stars and the sky, you'll always be mommy's little guy. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh.
My name is Jessa Calderon.
My name is Roger Martinez.
I'm Tongva and Chumash descent.
Jag heter Roger Martinez släpp det bättre släpp Todreanna boys Gina. My ski station Now I'm from Galvin, New Mexico. I'm from a reservation called Jones Ranch or Bandwagon.
Tears rolling down my cheeks as we endure injustice in these streets. The privileged don't know our pain as they take and force their way.
going to school in middle school more than anything, and doing history and being told things about my people that I knew weren't true, and mostly that I didn't exist, and I'm sitting right there in class, you know.
I should be walking around acting like who I should be, not someone who was forced to be based on society or like how people perceive me, you know what I mean?
So I decided to just start writing poetry, and eventually that would turn into raps. And for me, it was a way to get information out that otherwise isn't being told. And
I think that's why the whole music and like the whole poetry can also help people understand sometimes. Like, you know, like analogies and similes and metaphors. Like, if I compare two unlike things, like, it'll help people understand.
Fear and atrocious corporal punishment is how the European immigrants made examples of us since the 1400s. And if you think it's a thing of the past, think again. From Leonard Peltier or Lackawatley to Red Fawn, the system is still finding ways to falsify cases, to imprison as well as murder our people. Let us never forget John Trudell's wife, children, and mother-in-law who were burned to death in a suspicious house fire which was never investigated. John T. Williams.
I have big ties to John Trudell. Actually, you know, his daughter is one of my best friends, and I get emotional thinking about him because it does tie in a lot with the things that I do, and it's scary, you know, because he's so powerful in the knowledge that he shares, his truth, you know, he speaks truth, and truth got his family killed. You know, the government burned down his family's house, and he lost his wife and his 2 children. And that is the one thing that kind of scares me on like doing some of the political stuff, is that fear of like, they want to shut you and your truth down sometimes, you know?
My uncle told me, it was like, it's okay not to fight sometimes. It's okay to be called a coward. It's okay to like step back, you know? Because at least you get to live for the rest of that day.
And so you just have to find a stable ground in a way of doing that without like saying like we need to shut them down, but like, hey, we need to embrace certain things, and we do need to make changes, and we do need to stand our ground.
Now I'm just enduring it. But it's okay though, you know, like I'm alive. I still have my 10 fingers. I still am able to walk, you know? My mind is right. I still have a left in my right brain.
What John Trudell stands for, you know, I'm very grateful for, because I would not be doing the kind of music that I do when it comes to political music and speaking my truth if it wasn't for people like John Trudell, who actually paved the way to being a proud Native American.
It gives me like hope. It gives me like an idea that like if they can do it, so can I. And if I can do it, so can them. And if they can do it, then that means we can all. And if we can all do it, maybe they'll create something.
And now that I have your attention, I want to read the poems from the spoken word workshop that we did here today. So what I'm going to read, it's a mix from about eight or nine of us that were sitting around, and this is what we got as we worked together. I feel trapped in my own home, thinking about who I actually am. I feel I can't speak my mind. I feel alone. I wish Grandma was by my side. Life has me feeling exhausted. I belong to nobody. Where I am going, I will be somebody. While things happen with the ancestors by my side, I know the people will revive. I will energize. I won't stay down for long, because I am stubborn, strong-willed, unique, proud, bold, humble, a warrior, preserver, a healer of the people. I am resilient. Woo! Thank you. And so that was 2 adults, and the rest were Sherman high schoolers who wrote that.
The reason why I do what I do is to help Native youth to hold their ground and to be proud of who they are, you know. And there was a lot of fights that I stepped away from, you know, out of fear of what's going to happen if I speak up, you know. And so my goal is to make sure that these generations to come and my generation no longer, backs down, because I've watched it from like my grandparents, not wanting to claim to be Native American because of the hatred that was put on it. So you want to be anything but, and to be European was like this amazing thing. But I think about it and I'm like, Europeans came here and they mass murdered and they raped and they did horrible things. Like, I'm not proud of that. I don't really want to like claim that bloodline if I don't have to, I want to claim my Native roots and I want to know my Native roots. And so by me doing the music that I do today, my goal is to make sure that these generations, starting from my generation down, won't have that fear of being Native American, but to be proud to be who they are.
But I want my nephew to be better, and I want her to be stronger too, so that's what kind of inspires me to make a change in my community, or even for one person in their lifetime to even find a better settlement than what they grew up with. Why don't we understand all the bad things that make us crazy? God mad, takes things, acting lazy, so sad we give more, calling us greedy. Mama lives on easily because of...
I can find a way, and I will find a way. You either find a way or you find an excuse. And I'm still trying to find a way. I'm not trying to find an excuse. I'm not going to give you one excuse. It's going to be hard, obviously. It will always be hard in any situation you do, any type of problem that's in front of you. It's always going to be hard. It's always an obstacle, Yeah. But I just got to, endure it all. That's what it is. I got to endure it.
Way high, way high, way high, way high, way high, oh hey, high, oh hey, oh hey, hey, oh hey, oh. When you think you're sad and blue and don't know what to do, don't worry, you will see how much you really mean to me, how oh hey, hey oh hey, oh.
A cup empty, shit that coffee, we in this together. Wiser in the family, getting stronger. Make a farther than we ever thought. Chilling the pie, get the dot, landed it up with a quick spot. Never knowing anything, and here we are. Never knew, who knew. Matter of fact, rolling with the snapback, coking back, dime sack, so that was all of my